All right, happy Thursday night, NFL fans. Some Thursday night football sports betting chatter here. Ben Doody, managing editor at Heavy.com. I'm here with the dean of the NFL contributor group on the Heavy platform, Jonathan Adams. Hello, John.
What's going on, man?
We've got a really good Thursday night game. You know, the Thursday night schedule gets a lot of flack for sometimes not having the best game of the week. This is a very good one. Chargers-Chiefs tonight. We're going to talk about some promos we have going on with our friends at FanDuel Sportsbook, and we'll get into this game, which I'm going to rush home from the city, make sure I get there for the start of this one. So Chargers-Chiefs, let me introduce some of the betting stuff that we're going to talk about here. And if you go to John's Twitter handle, he's at John D. Adams. You can find links to these FanDuel Sportsbook promos. We'll have an article referencing these promos on the site at Heavy.com, so you can find them there as well. So 2 promos involved FanDuel Sportsbook. FanDuel Sportsbook's live in 12 states. And if it's not live in your state yet, it'll get there at some point. So you can sign up and get email updates on when FanDuel Sportsbook is going to be live. 2 things for tonight. The biggest one, and the one I probably recommend betting here, is you can bet $5 on either side of this bet and win 150. So you get 30-1 odds on either of these teams, Chiefs, Chargers. The point spread is Kansas City -3. So we had a conversation here with Max Damara on our Michigan show earlier today. We talked about this. My advice on this, and John, I'll go to you here in case you have any different advice. These promos, the cool thing about it is it basically turns a game where one team is favored into a pick. So Kansas City -3, you get the same odds on both teams. So my advice is, if you have a strong feeling or you have some information you think the public doesn't have, that actually the Chargers should be favored, then you can bet the Chargers here, $5 turn into 150. If you basically trust that these lines are fairly efficient, the sports books are telling you Kansas City is more likely to win the game. You get the 31 odds on either team. I would bet the Chiefs here. They are on the road. The Chargers are one of these teams, one of the only teams where they don't really have a home crowd, so I don't really put a ton of stock. I don't think the place is going to be rocking. I think you probably see some Chiefs fans in attendance there. So Kansas City -3. We did a promo. We talked about a promo last week, which was Browns-Ravens. Similar thing. The Browns were 2.5-point favorite, and I said bet the Browns. They won. What's interesting, John, is they didn't even cover. They won the game by 2 points. But in this case, you get the $150 if you bet them even if they didn't cover. The second thing that you can do, second promo, it's a risk-free $1,000 bet, a risk-free bet up to $1,000. So you can bet anything from $10, 15, all the way up to 1,000. If you lose the bet, FanDuel Sportsbook refunds your money. You can bet that on the Thursday night game. You can bet a player prop if you want to. And John can probably get into a couple of these on the Thursday night game, or you can bet it on anything else in FanDuel Sportsbook. So we'll have links to get to both of those offers. So first thing, John, bet 5, win 150, either side, Chiefs, Chargers. What do you like on that one for Thursday Night Football?
Yeah, I really like the Chiefs, and for some of the reasons you mentioned. One, there's kind of a built-in – there's been some debate on how much Vegas is factoring in that home field now that the home field's kind of like 50-50 split this season. So you're getting a little bit of a value there because the Chargers are the home team. But like you said, there's going to be a lot of people – it's cold in Kansas City right now that would love to get in some of that LA weather. So I think you're going to see some Chiefs fans in the attendance. I feel comfortable with this Chiefs spread all the way up to 6 probably, just because I think the Chiefs are being undervalued because we're comparing the Chiefs to past Chiefs teams. These aren't the dominant Chiefs teams that we saw when kind of Patrick Mahomes started going on a tear, but it's still a really good team and they're starting to play really good football. I think there's also some value here because the Chargers won the last game. So I think Vegas is factoring some of that in, and I really think the Chiefs should be a higher favorite here. So I really like that -3, especially with the promos you mentioned. What is it? You spend potentially $5 and you can make 150 there. Am I getting that right?
Yeah, you spend 5. Now you can bet less than 5 if you want. It'd be kind of silly to do that, but the promo is 30-1 odds on either side, $5 max bet. So you bet 5, turn it into 150. If you think the Chiefs, I think the Chiefs, all you need to place the money line bet is to think they're better than 50-50, right? Since you're getting that huge money line on either side. Maybe as a handicap, I'd say, and the odds makers probably telling you this, the Chiefs have maybe a 55 to 60%. I don't think they have a 90% chance to win this game, but I think they probably have a 55 to 65, something like that, chance to win it. So bet the 5, win the 150. That's for new users, FanDuel Sportsbook. So that's John and I are both that. We're with the Chiefs. These games in LA, this has happened to some extent with the Rams, but it's really happened with the Chargers, where some of these games, the visiting team has taken over the stadium. The biggest one I remember, John, was when they played the Raiders. So you have a Raider game in LA, which I hadn't thought about this. It must have been the first Raider game with fans in LA since the Raiders played in LA. True. That game earlier this year, that must have been 70% Raiders fans. I don't think it's gonna be 70% Chiefs fans, but I'm not. If I'm Mahomes going to LA tonight, I'm not shaking about the opportunity to go in there and play before those fans. All right, so that's that promo. Risk-free bet. You can bet any game on the whole docket, and it doesn't even have to be an NFL game. You can bet a college basketball, NBA, NHL, EPL, whatever strikes your interest on that. But let's talk about a couple of these here. Risk-free $1,000 bet. You can't do both of these promos. You got to pick one or the other. So if you'd rather risk-free $1,000 bet than the bet 5 win 150. Bunch of stuff here. That could be a player prop. If you want to go really, really big on the money line, Kansas City minus 172. The Chargers, if you like the Chargers in this game, they're plus 144, so you get a little juice in your favor on the money line. You can bet that up to $1,000. FanDuel Sportsbook refunds your money if it doesn't hit. So, John, forget for the purpose of this conversation anything this weekend. Let's go tonight. You can bet team money line. You can bet an over under. You can bet a player prop. If you're doing that promo, risk free bet up to $1,000 Thursday Night Football. What's your recommendation?
There's one I love, which is the Joey Bosa. So we're gonna go defensive. So you defensive nerds, you don't have to sweat out either line. You can just watch Joey Bosa go nuts. That Chiefs offensive line still a work in progress there. So it's 3.5 the over there plus 116. So you're getting plus money. I think last time these two teams met, Bosa had about 5.5 or 6 tackles. So I think there's a good chance that he can dominate this offensive line. And especially if you don't want to sweat out, a side, I really like Bosa at over 3.5 tackles. The cool thing there is you're also getting credit for assist there too. So he doesn't even have to get the full tackle, get an assist there. If you're wanting to just have offensive props, there's a couple TD props. You could go first time scorer. I usually just like to go anytime, then I don't have to sweat it out on just the first possession. You kind of get some entertainment for the full game. I like a couple Chargers here. Let me see the odds. Keenan Allen at plus 165. I think a little bit some value there because he's coming off the COVID list. Mike Williams is also a good bet there at plus 160. So those are a couple that I like, but especially the Bosa. I think that's might be my top overall, even more than the Chiefs tonight.
Let's get these guys out of here. We'll keep this short and sweet. Again, heavy on NFL, Thursday Night Football preview, mixing up with some promos from our friends at FanDuel Sportsbook. You can find these. I'll have an article on the site. You can also go to John's Twitter, at John D. Adams. He'll have those links to these offers for you. I want to ask you a question that only you can answer for prospective FanDuel Sportsbook users. In the Southeast, John is in Atlanta. FanDuel Sportsbook not yet live in Georgia, but they're live in Tennessee. So, John, give our viewers the insight. If you're in Georgia, what's the best place to go? Cast your bet, FanDuel Sportsbook in Tennessee, and then get back to Georgia. What's your go-to MO if that's what you're going to do?
Yeah, especially from Atlanta, the closest major city here is Chattanooga. So in an hour and 45 minutes, I can get to Chattanooga. Nice coffee shop there called Frothy Monkey or Stone Mug Coffee. So shout out to them. You can go there. You can go work.
Wait, hang on a second. What's it called? Sloppy Monkey?
Frothy Monkey. If you type in
Frothy
Monkey, you might get different results. But Frothy Monkey or Stone Cup, I think it's Stone Mug Coffee there also too, with a great view of the mountains there. Yeah, you get hour and 45 minutes. I usually go and I work from there. And then on my way home, like right before, not while I'm driving, but before I kind of look at what the lines are, what the latest news is, and then I put everything in. And then the cool thing is here in Atlanta, like I can't put anything in here in Atlanta, obviously, but I don't have any trouble if I want to, like, let's say I hit that Chiefs wager tonight and I go big on one of those promos, I'm able to actually cash out here in Atlanta. So I don't have to drive back to Chattanooga even to get my money. So that's pretty cool. And I can still keep track of everything in the app. I just can't place live bets here in Georgia yet.
John will get you some more recommendations here. Maybe, John, we can do a remote live from the Frothy Monkey at some point in Chattanooga. So go to the Frothy Monkey, drive there from Atlanta or wherever you are. There's our friends in Tennessee, our friends in Georgia. They're like, the map here is really interesting. A lot of states in play, a lot of places where your state's not in play yet, but it'll get there. You can drive to Chattanooga, and you can take advantage of these. So again, John and I both like the Chiefs on that bet 5 win 150. John likes the over on the Bosa tackles prop. And we'll have plenty more sports betting chatter. John, any parting thoughts before we head out here?
No, this is really exciting. We've got the holidays coming up. We got some bowl games coming up this weekend. So we're definitely going to be doing more of these, and I'm excited to kind of hang out. If my picks go wrong, I'm just going to go dark and delete my account. So, but no, we're helping people win money. We're helping people get, I don't know what the toys that I don't have any kids. I just have a dog. So I only know that we're trying to get some like Grinch holiday sweaters, but win some extra money to get your kids some gifts here. That's what we're trying to do. Good people.
Okay. All right. We'll leave it with that. Thank you very much, John. All right.